Hey, beautiful souls. Now, if you're somebody that has done some inner work, or you're somebody that hasn't done any inner work, this might be of interest to you, this concept that I'm going to explain. When we are looking at how we are, when we are looking at the program that's operating within us, the autopilot that's activated within us. And as I said, this is set up in those early years more often than not. When we're looking at that program, sometimes it can be hard for many reasons to actually identify it. There could be a reluctance because of admitting something or acknowledging something, or there could be just, to you, it is so normal, the norm, that to you it isn't something that stands out to be observed. So if you want to understand yourself and the program, the autopilot, a little bit more, have a look at how you drive. How do you cope with somebody tailgating you? Are you an offensive driver or are you a defensive driver? How do you feel when you're in the passenger seat and somebody's driving your car? How do you feel when you're stuck in traffic? Are you late all the time, zooming through traffic trying to get to a destination? This is another example of the micro reflecting the macro and vice versa. So if somebody tailgates you and you feel pressured to keep moving, or you react to somebody tailgating you on a deeper level, on a autopilot spiritual level, to me it says you are not grounded in your own being, that you are impacted by people encroaching on you, trying to affect your movement through life in a way. And when we push back, it means we are not grounded in our being and centered within our being. If we don't care, if we know who we are, if we acknowledge our own efforts, our own movement through life, truthfully, truly, then nobody can pull us off center. Somebody can say something to us or define something about us. And if we react, it means we're not centered and grounded within our own being. If we are, it just is like water off a duck's back. So if you are annoyed at being tailgated, then there's something inside of you that needs to be looked at regarding, are you centered and grounded within your own being? Or are you influenced by other people's opinions, other people's impacts upon your movement through life? So do you get annoyed when people cut you off? Do you feel competitive? Do you need to sit an inch from the person in front of you, urging them? Or are you somebody that has to overtake? Are you somebody that cannot sit behind another car in front of you and will always overtake? Now, I talk about these concepts with the people that I work with. And one of the things I suggest people do to understand the program is to do the opposite in some instances, as long as it doesn't harm anyone else. So if you're somebody that overtakes a lot, if you cannot sit behind another car and allow that person to define the speed limit, they may be going the speed limit, but you find it unbearable to sit behind them. And I have driven with people that just have to overtake another car, whatever, whether they're on the speed limit or less than the speed limit or over the speed limit. Sometimes people always have to overtake. So what I would encourage you to do is to not overtake, to actually sit a reasonable distance behind the car in front of you and to feel the emotions that come up when that happens. Now, it's not a good idea to process them while you're driving, obviously, but just tap in and acknowledge the emotion and the reaction that you're having. When you're quiet, when you're later on in the day and you're at home, I want you to go back into that emotion and feel how you felt not overtaking or doing whatever it was that you normally do. Poreti shenzi kike, shutanya kika, uzete sisa, sa ambo keke, antaria kika, so shenne kike, sujeza a ditena, ejo shenzi kike, indariaka. So also look at how you maintain your car. Now, the funny thing used to happen to me in my 20s and 30s, and my car would always overheat. Different cars would overheat, and it was actually anger overheating. So the cars do reflect us. Everything is a mirror in funny ways that we wouldn't normally think of. So sit down, think about how you drive, think about how you act or react within the car, and then see how that applies and shines a light on how you're navigating your world generally. Abareti shenze kike ortariande kikenya. So have fun with this, and I'll speak to you again soon. Bye.